along with XXS. Not a bad lane either, right? Like, you don't really have much in the way of dealing with MNZ so much, but you can ensure that this Lycan does remain safe. You might be able to snipe with the Oracle Ursa, but I think Matt should be able to keep XXS alive.
Yeah, for the most part, it's going to be hard for MNZ to gap close, get his damage off. You can see already Matt just applying his Fire Spirits early on, trying to zone out MNZ. And when you're a melee hero up against a Phoenix, it's a lot easier to land those Fire Spirits. So it should be relatively easy to control the lane. XXS, once he hits level 2, level 3, you get the Feral Impulse up, you're not going to be zoned out. So it should be a steady lane to hold. It's really down to just MJZ, whether or not he can get the good Fortune's Ends off, to get the Dispel and the hold, save MNZ from getting too slowed down, and maybe trap down the Lycan while he's vulnerable.
Yeah, of course, up a top lane. Seems like there was a bit of action going on earlier on. LANM gonna be there with Monet. They're up against Frank and Moose. So far, things going pretty smoothly. Again, I think this is one of the lanes where you're probably going to see the most kill potential, especially if Moose can get a nice roll in to help out Frank to set up. Of course, with that level 2 now, Moose does have the kickback, so you can kick back somebody into the Spirit Siphon of Frank. Can be rather devastating, as they do right now, LANM. He'll be fine. Take a lot of harassment on the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, and this lane for Aster is a lot more passive. Like, it's a PL and Nyx. There's not much kill potential unless someone really oversteps, and LANM will have to watch himself.
Spike Carapace gonna be there. Moose doesn't have another kick for a moment. He's not gonna bother throwing it out yet. He'll save the mana. Was the final lane being the mid lane, the one we haven't talked about quite yet. You've got Leo Style there up against White Album. But now Leo on the Prophet should have a decent enough time. I mean, it's one of those heroes that does lane extremely well. Even up against the puck, it's not going to be too much of a struggle until those levels come up on White. For now, Leo should have a really nice time.
Yeah, he's finding his farm, getting a lot of denies as well, though some of that should be on the treants, so it's not as big of a deal. But when you're 12 to 8 against a puck that's 11, well, 12 to 3, you're doing great. You're drawing even with a puck. This is known to be a lane dominant hero in this meta, and you're just not being dominated. That's enough of a win. Leostal should have an easier time securing power runes as well, and maybe even getting out some early aggression. White has to watch himself trading like this. Like, with a Blightstone and an early Glove of Haste, the attack animation of NP is very tight, and you can easily just zone someone out with just your pure right clicks.
Gonna look back up at top lane, because Monet, he was taking quite a bit of damage on that PL. No first blood hasn't been achieved yet. In fact, as I say that, down a bot lane is where it happens. Bad. Does go down to MJ. The Oracle, of course, level 3 timing, Purifying Flames at level 2. A lot of damage. Ad could not really handle it. That'll leave XXS down this bot lane alone. Speaking of this bot lane, though, MNZ is farming a little bit too well, I think. On this Ursa, 26 and 5 already. XXS sitting at 13 and 3. Still gonna have a decent enough time for the Necrobook timing, but MNZ's having a very good time. In fact, now they're gonna try and go for a kill attempt. XXS, they're gonna leave him be. They don't want to dive the T1 tower yet. So XXS has been left alone because Mad had to TP mid, fill up the bottle of White. Does do so.
Yeah, you really need White Album to hit off here on the puck. You want to have that smooth start on that hero. You need to hit your level 6 timings. Leostal already slightly ahead in levels. It's going to be hurting just how much White Album can get. And you can see Leostal just so confident. Every single time gets a treants up, gets a Blightstone off. The treants hit that much harder. And the puck only has 3 base armor. So -2, you're left with 1 quick mats. And it's just very hard for White Album to trade when his spells are down.
Top lane, big impale out from LANM. Boulder Smash gonna be pretty on target. LANM now gonna be in danger. He'll try to run, but it looks like he's gone. Moose able to pick up a kill. Monet now gonna have to sit back on this PL and just kind of wait it out a bit. His farm not really going great, John. 19 and 1 when you compare to the Ursa 37 and 9. Huge difference.
It's just such a passive lane for Aster. Like, you can't expect the Nyx to set anything up with a PL laning partner. It just doesn't work out. At the least for Aster, Mad gets a very good snipe on the bounty rune and does get co-rotation out.
They do. Icarus dive in with the Impel. Frank in big danger. Tries to Spirit Siphon one, but doesn't really get away with it. Rotation there from Aster now. By Monet a little bit of space. Desperately needs it. Just got the brown boots coming out now on the courier. Overall though, I mean, just the state of the game does seem to still favor the Radiant.
Yeah, they're hitting their timings here. Leo Stalt's already 6, so if you get someone low enough, Rat of Nature flies through, you can just easily burst them down. The offlane for Aster, again, as you mentioned, MNZ's just uncontested. And an Ursa that's uncontested means an Ursa into Battle Fury at a really fast time, which means flash farm just all over the place. They are trying to play aggression top, though.
Monet, he's going to be just fine. Moose, stick around. Mad is also there, so they're going to be somewhat careful. 3 heroes around. In fact, they're going to try and make the jump in now onto the ES. Monet just going to charge in, and Moose is going to actually boulder smash. Turn back around. Leo, he's there as well. Mad, he's the one falling low, and will die. They could not kill off Moose, and now Lad M, the second to fall. That's the scary part about a mid MP as well, John. You could come in at any moment. Just never know you're coming in.
It's so strong if you play this active and you get this early start. Look at the base stats of the NP. 84 damage, plus 12 from Rat of Nature, and they find again.
Oh, Monet, they get the silence, but they won't have the damage. Monet's going to be just fine. We haven't really seen any rotations out from White, and ooh, Dream Coil. Going to be off the mark. He tried. Right on the edge, but he wasn't quite there. Gonna say White has been a little bit quiet so far on this puck.
Yeah, it's been a slower game on the puck. I think the Dream Coil is fine because he had an Arcane Rune, so it's not too long for cooldown. Just trying to get lucky doesn't, and it's not too big of a risk to take. Aster starting to lag a bit behind, but they're trying to match that aggression top. They just keep eyes out. They have let Monet leave, so Monet's just taking mid now. Just the 2 supports.
Nem's in danger. Fortune's End gonna be channeled up all the way into the boulder smash. Where is Frank, however? He's been sitting back. They'll bring Leo in instead. Leo might have enough damage, and they do. With the Purifying Flames, they'll get it done. Mad, he really just can't help out on this Phoenix right now. However, bot lane, MNZ, he's getting dived. He's going to try and fight back. Dream Coil will be committed, but he had the Enrage going. He'll break the coil. Heals coming out from his Oracle. Now the Fortune's End, MNZ, pretty low, but not low enough. White, he's going to try and get himself out, but Moose is on the chase, but he is out of mana. White should be just fine to walk out of there now, unless MJ could find the vision for the Purifying Flames. Oh. And, well, White, he doesn't want to risk it. He gets out. Very close call.
Tight. Forced to cancel the TP because if he stayed still, he would have been dead from that burst damage coming through from the Oracle. So smart play. That does delay his trip back home. There's just a lot of time Aster's losing out on right now on the map. Much more efficient plays from Thunder Predator. The aggression is starting to pile on. MNZ top of the last hits board. Uncontested still on the Ursa. And it is going to be the Battle Fury Ursa as they roll. Not going to land.
Connect it all. Just catch up time for Aster now. They had a really rough laning stage. Time for them to try and catch up best they can. Team Monet already in the triangle, but it's a bit of a tough ask for him to be able to take things like Ancients with just double Wraith Bands and Treads. It's a very slow process. Look on the other side, MNZ, he's going to have a pretty quick Battle Fury at this rate.
Yep. Again, just not contested enough on the Ursa. XXS is still finding his own farm, but that's not necessarily what you want. You just want to slow the Ursa down from hitting these item spikes. He's going to flash farm real quick. The PL can sort of keep up with Phantom Rush, can kind of be efficient across the map, but it's not as amazing flash farm, so some pressure needed bot. They do rotate Mad back in, but they don't have the egg yet, so it's going to be a bit longer until they have some big team fight to cancel out MNZ.
There was a TP out from MNZ down to that bot lane. Could not catch him. Now Leo. TP right back up top. with the Treants, just pushing that tier 1 tower by himself. LANM's going to try and get in range to get an impale. In fact, they'll get the Dream Coil first, but the turnaround immediately out by Thunder Predator. Frank will find LANM, and White is just forced to orb away. They always have an answer, these boys. Onto the bot lane now, XXS. He tried a TP. You heard the TP sound, but it wasn't fast enough. MNZ is able to take the kill on the Ursa. It's 6-1 now, 1k net worth lead already for the Radiant side.
The only positive here for Aster is that Monet has some space out, tries to shove in the mid, but the PL does not push well. Has the siege creep up, so there's some good chip damage being done in that mid tier 1, but they lose their top tower. And Thunder Predator, you can just TP in Leo style, no problem on the NP. Get that farm going. Speaking of Leo style, the Orchid not too far off. And once you have that, the rotations done by Leo style on the NP is going to be a lot more effective with the silence to start up. That is going to cause issues for Aster. They're going to have to be very careful with how split apart they are, because Leo style's NP will be ready to punish that with the Orchid.
They will. Bot lane, Mad, in danger, is forced to Icarus dive out. While that's happening though, mid lane is being forced in by Leo now. LANM trying to be around to defend. Silence is there from Moose. No boulder smash. How do you slow this down? You haven't really got the draft to defend tier 1s like this. They'll bring in White. That'll be enough. The rotations are forced, but LANM going to move forward now with the Dream Coil onto 2. Fate to Edie going to save the day for Moose for now. Egg going to be committed as well. Everything being thrown out with a false promise. Is there in time? And Moose, he will survive another day. They threw everything but the kitchen sink. Just couldn't kill him.
Yeah, it's the issue we see when teams play against Oracle and DP. So much sustain. You don't have a natural Spirit Vessel up yet. It's going to be a while longer until that's up and running on Mad. So you're always going to have an issue there with just the raw regeneration coming through from Thunder Predator. And they can just reset, look down mid again. No exorcism up, but anytime Leo style wants to join in, that tower will just melt. And they don't have Egg. They don't have teamfight anymore in Aster's end.
The T1 mid gone. Instead, they're trying to focus down to MNZ. He's going to try and man fight up against 3 of them with the Enrage. But he'll turn right back around. Jay's there just in case. They may give it another crack as they pop the wolf form onto the Oracle. That's the target they want. In fact, that might be the only target they can get right now, and they'll take it. Frank will TP in with the Ursa. Gonna jump in. Wolf form still going. Frank just spirit siphoning his way to victory. Leo, a nice sprout on the Nyx. They kill off Mad. Into the Nyx assassin now. Moose right on target. LANM with the Vendetta might just make it out. But it's still a 7-2. And it feels like every attempt Aster to try at taking down this bottom tier 1 is just not working out.
They just don't have the push. They need like a Nyx Assassin Meteor Hammer for that, or a Phoenix Meteor Hammer, but they're not going to be able to farm that fast enough. And the push of Thunder Predator is just that much better. Like, there are issues clearing out these waves. LANM actually has to watch his positioning because the Cleave can rip through his HP as well, through the Vendetta. They are coming back in, but it's just too late for the defense, and all of Thunder Predator just get to TP home.
This is against the Lycan draft, by the way, John. Foil?
Oh no, second one from White.
Oh, what was he aiming for?
NP, right at the edge of that TP, misses out. Good channel from Leo style. They have left moves. They should be able to find this tier 1 bot, maybe find a kill.
I mean, you're more than happy to let the bot tier 1 go, though, surely. Moose, no, he wants to roll in, he wants to fight. Magnetize, Egg gonna be forced out. Leo, he's trying to focus down the Egg in time, and he will be able to get it. Now they will turn right back around onto Aster. White, he's gonna phase shift, but he has no way out of this. They will at least get the Oracle and the Earth Spirit. I thought for sure they just let the tier 1 go. But Thunder Predator will continue to defend it.
Look at this up top, MNZ.
MNZ just all over the place on this Ursa, onto the PL, and Monet just melts.
Oh man, this aggression from Thunder Predator, it catches teams off guard.
Everyone's tipping MNZ, and Frank has to be the one guy that Tim's landed. What did LANM do wrong, John?
Respect, you know, Lanham, big veteran. Just ensuring that he pays his respects out to Lanham. MNZ now, this is the timing of the Ursa. 15 minutes in, Battle Fury up into the Roche pit. With some treants up and with some casual hits, it's just easy.
That it is. Lanham, find moves. Impale does connect. Where's your follow-up? Silence. It's just going to be free food here for MNZ. Spike Carapace is out. Sunray, it's not going to help. In fact, the roll forward, they found the Phoenix, but moves. He's the one dropping low. White will finally get himself a kill. The wolf form has been popped. They want to go after this Ursa. In fact, never mind. They want MJ first. The Oracle with the false promise. They want him dead. MJ, he tried to get the false promise on the Ursa. He couldn't get it in time. They'll get the Aegis. Now the wraparound. There's your Enrage. MNZ, he's going to try and fight up against 3. The TP's in from Frank and Leo, and they'll be able to get White. 2K net worth lead. Just such a brawly game between these two. But that seems to favor Thunder Predator.
They're just constantly keeping the aggression up. Monet is getting some space to farm up, because all of Aster is going out to buy him that space. I don't know if the investment in the PL will pay off, but PL into Ursa late game is actually really nice for the PL, but
they've got a really nice target. Leo, he's going to try to TP again, but it's not going to work. Very nice.
Yep, that's the kill they needed. Slowing down Leo just a bit, but Monet...
Nay. Got Doppel. He's actually max Doppel. How aggressive Thunder Predator have been. Able to get away from them.
Yeah. It's a good shake-up from what we're used to seeing. I think we've been seeing, of course, a lot of Spirit Lance maxes because of the Octarine build-up. No such slowness here. So Monet going for the same build. Diffusal next, and again, as the game goes on, the Diffusal PL is great, although
they get the silence, they get the Fortune's End. Oh, bit of a misplay from MNZ. He's stuck. Tips out from Lanham. Lanham gives a right pack for the Yules. He's going to be there from Frank to lock him down. Surely this next assassin, MNZ, he will take his time with him. Good to see both teams in good spirits after such a long day.
Yeah, I mean, they have had fantastic runs. Aster's still a bit of the middle in the pack. But, of course, Thunder Predator at the top, feeling great. Have to be a bit cautious. Their lead isn't that big. 1K, 2K, swinging around. Aster's still getting some space out for Monet. You are really tying in your network to MNZ for the most part, and you have to be careful about overextending.
Ooze, roll, gonna get blocked off by Mad. More TPs to fly in. There's the impel from Lanham, and they've got him. XXS will be happy with that. Yeah, like you mentioned, the net worth lead, it really isn't that far between the two. It's just been bouncing between 1 and 2K for Thunder Predator. The main issue, though, is MNZ's farming way too well. That's the problem I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. It's really down to the fact that the Battle Fury allows him to farm a lot faster than the PL with a Manta. He can just clear out these camps super quick. He's got the Blink to jump around as well, and the BKB is not too far off for MNZ. So with the BKB up, doesn't need to worry about a lot of control on Aster's end. The physical damage output they have is not quite enough. Monet with a Diffusal might help the cause, but that's still a couple of parts away. So that timing's not going to line up that nicely. Thunder Predator, for their part, they haven't managed to progress onto tier 2, so Aster's been very good at forcing fights away from these bigger objectives, not allowing Thunder Predator to transition into taking more towers, which is great in maintaining their control. And Thunder Predator have been sitting on this exorcism on Frank for a while. Might want to get level 12 up, level 2 EXO up, just look to group up and smoke up, and that's what they do.
Stop. Very careful around these areas. Thunder Predator, they are right behind them. Dream Coil is going to be expended, but look at this, the turnaround now. Moves right in with the Magnetize. Lanham, Impale, not really going to land on anyone. They're just trying to find a way out. Leo, he'll kill off the puck. White goes down, so does Lanham. Matt's trying to run. The roll in from Move's going to lock him down on the Phoenix. Another death for the side of Aster. It's a 3-0. That net worth lead is really starting to escalate now. Up to 5K all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just Just perfectly timed there from Thunder Predator. Right as Frank hit 12, he TP'd mid. They immediately smoked. They knew the timings they have to hit. And they don't really find the objective off of that. They apply some good pressure mid, but they managed to find some big kills. Now for Aster, you're counting your lucky stars that Monet and XXS are harder to pin down. So you are still building up on that Lycan and PL, but they're still lagging behind Leo Style, still lagging behind MNZ. The only reason the gap is not as wide is because Frank has taken that back seat. He doesn't mind though. He's the DP with the Yules, slowly saving up for a Shivas. You're still really tanky up front with the Oracle to save you, so even with his minimal farm on the offlane DP, it just enables so much more to come out here.
LAN-M, he's been caught again on the Knicks. Tough game for him. Now the tier 2 bottom tower going to be easy pickings for Thunder Predator. They'll glyph it up. Who's that siege creep? There's going to be no defense attempt, it seems, from Aster. They're just going to have to let this go down.
They have to. I mean, they still don't have the best wave clear. Their team fight's just not kind of shaky. There's an immediate smoke here though.
Roll in, Moose. Oh, he's on target. He found White. They get the Phoenix first. They make sure there's no egg, and now they are on to Monet. Monet, he's going to try and fight up against Leo. They'll buyback on Mad to boot. They want to commit all the way for this team fight, but it's not looking great. Monet's still trying to run. Coil to lock them down just for a little bit, but MNZ, he has the BKB up now. XXS at least kills off Leo Style in the back. MNZ forced the TP away now with that BKB. Will make it out. Frank, not so much. Aster, they found a way to win this fight. Frank will eventually surely go down.
Oh?
No, he's not. White does get him.
Ooh. Yeah, that's on the edge. Aster just managing to kite out enough. Thunder Predator, the follow-up was a bit slower there. The roll-in was really nice coming out from Moose, but again, they just couldn't get the burst down. They were trying to focus down the PL. They didn't have the follow-up control, and that's where it kind of fell apart. The fight was split into two areas. They got caught off guard, and Aster managed to run back in. So they went out the fight here, Aster, in a big way. Got two nice heroes. You don't manage to find MNZ, but you force that first BKB use out. You manage to
Leo,
kind of make sure it's not worth much.
got mad. That Orchid too hard. LAN-M, he's going to be fine to TP. There's no way to cancel. Asher now up on the Ursun. This is when MNZ is going to feel very powerful. Not quite the Abyssal Blade yet, but you can pretty much rely on the Basher with your Fury swipes and Overpower to ensure you basically get a guaranteed one with that Overpower.
Yeah, it's going to be really helpful in isolating that PL and isolating the Lycan. So you have to watch yourself here. MNZ, of course, going to probably be saving up for that Abyssal. Once you have that up, much more consistent stuns coming through. The follow-up is going to be there. Aster still lagging behind at 6k. The build-up is there for Monet. Rushing the heart. Once you have that, it's going to be a lot harder to lock down the PL, though.
LAN-M, that's a nice setup. Be able to follow up? Not quite. He'll be fine. Just walk his way up the stairway.
Ooh, a double damage.
Roshan's up. Double damage and a Roshan. John, sounds like a great idea for Thunder P.
Yeah, straight in the pit. Not going to last too long. There is a courier here from Mad to scout. So they should know something's up, and they've got the wolves to scout in, but they've got the sentries preemptively. So just playing it safe. They do snipe the courier. No? Snipe it? There you go.
They get it. MNZ, he's running. Oh, he got the Basher's ball right away onto the Lycan. XXS is gone, and there's the XXS being popped by Frank. He wants a very fast Roshan. It wasn't going to be fast enough without a DD Rune Ursa. They'll get it eventually.
Yeah, not going to take long. Aster, they have some fight for the pit, but they're not gathered enough. You know, they need the Ag, they need Dream Coil. They'd rather farm up. They're trying to close this gap. But now, 8k up on Thunder Predator. You've got a lot of items flying through. You've got a lot of durability on hand with the Aegis and Cheese. If you had trouble here on Aster finding one life on MNZ, 2 lives are going to be next to impossible. So Have to watch that pacing out now. Thunder Predator feeling really strong and just able to get a lot off the map. They've even got this blink up on MJZ. So he can just easily get himself away from the fights, come in for the false promise, come in for the disarm if need be, for the root. He's got all the saves, and just this fast of a blink on a support Oracle always enables even more saving plays out. This is going to be very difficult for Aster to pin down the Oracle before the fights break out.
Still, Aster are holding. There is a heart being worked on by Monet. He's going to get pretty tanky with that heart. Whether it makes the difference, though, is an entirely different story. Thunder Predator onto the top tier 2. The second last tower to take the outer edges of the map. Get it. One outer tower left now for Aster. Suppose as long as Monet's finding the farm, he should be alright. Thing is, there's an Abyssal Blade now on MNZ. That's where you've got to be careful.
It's difficult to fight into that. Like, the control they were lacking for follow-up from the roll, not going to be an issue with that Abyssal up now. And that just means MNZ's just going to be able to run down one of these big targets, and he does now.
Well, yep, Ladam. Spy Carapace going to be there in time. Gonna get out. Very nice. Let him know about Ladam.
Yeah.
MNZ moved in now as well. Into the tier 2 tower, they still have the Aegis, they still have the cheese. No, even a Shiva's guard up now on Frank. On top of the AC that Leo Style has. On a bonus armor for the team.
Yeah, they can set their eyes onto high ground. Slowly but surely, Exorcism is up. Ooh.
Gets in the second time, Ladam. Go down MNZ, and now they are onto the high ground. The tier 3 tower, their objective. They've committed with the Exorcism. Monet is going to be around. Thunder Predator, they don't want to force anything too far. That'll be enough for them. Forcing the rotations back into the base.
Yeah, I guess they're happy enough. They know how far ahead they are. They don't want to tamp the high ground just yet. There's a lot of good defense Aster can do. Egg plus Dreamcoil on such a tight spot can be highly effective. They might want one pick off first before cleaning up.
But they do. MNZ move in. Goes straight for the Phoenix. He wants Matt dead. Matt just about to fall, but he's not quite gone yet. They will get him in the end. Onto Monet. He'll be just fine. Leo instead gonna go onto Ladam. They'll get the Nyx Assassin. Another 2 dead. On the brighter side of things, Monet does have the heart up now. But he doesn't have buyback gold, so if he gets taken out, things could get pretty bad for them.
Yep. Gotta be cautious. It's a bit of a weird double-edged sword. Let's say it's a big team fight, Aster's clumped up, and MNZ focuses Monet. He gets so much more value from actually stacking Furious Wipes on the PL because he's going to have a lot of cleave damage coming through as well in the rest of the team. So it's kind of a weird back and forth where the tanky you are against an Ursa with Battle Fury, it kind of is okay for Ursa. He's one of a few heroes that doesn't mind too much. And
he's caught out Monet. That's the big target. Monet, very tanky now. Not going to be that easy to take down. Still moves, kicking him right back out of the base. That's a great kick out. Monet!
No buyback!
He's dead without buyback. Moves does it again, but a Dream Coil to make sure they at least get something. They'll kill the Earth Spirit. Thunder Predator, they are in a position to go high ground again. They've got a creep wave coming in. It's a matter of whether they want to commit for it. They may not realize that there is no buyback on the PL.
Yeah, I think they should just go for it. They don't have too much time in the Aegis, so it's just about 10 seconds left. If you get caught off here as MNZ, it could be a bit dicey. But the Fortify is going to save the day for now for Aster.
13k net worth lead. Thunder Predator looking to try and getting a massive advantage, but the Aegis is just about to expire. That'll be enough. White moved in. Leo, he's going to turn around and start right-clicking away onto Ladam. Now the Sprout shot. They've caught the Phoenix. MNZ, he's right back into the base now. They'll still have the BKB and Rage, but they see Mane's about to respawn. They don't want to risk it. Surgical play here from Thunder Predator.
Yeah, they're not being impatient at all. They know when to take these fights. They know when to back off. They're still sort of constantly forcing them in the base tower. Like, Aster cannot leave this mid area. You need to constantly de-shove the wave. They can't go after their jungle to farm. They can't go after the side lanes to farm. They're just stuck in a very awkward position where they can't build up a lead back. And Thunder Predator just abuse that. They're just constantly all over the place. You can see MNZ very close to that MKB. Again, boosting his damage output by a huge amount. You're also reaching the point where Leostyle will have that full Gleipnir up if he's allowed to just free farm. And the AoE control that gives is going to cause so many issues for Aster in these fights. What Aster needs to do now, they've got the heart, and they need to try and find a good Dream Coil Egg combo. That's been lacking for a very long time now. They need to just find a good position and force a bigger team fight and punish Thunder Predator.
Here we go, rolling. They're going to try XXS. The wolf form is out, but the Abyssal Blade right onto land, and he'll survive for now. The egg is popped. It's a pretty nice egg, but Thunder Predator, they're going to try and back off. Dream Quarter locked down MNZ. Egg does end up popping. They're actually chasing down Moose, who's trying to roll TP away, and it looks like he is going to make it. Nobody going to die on either team. But it does feel like it still favors Thunder Predator. So Aster were the ones committing the big ultimates in that team fight.
Yeah, it's a really good showing from Thunder Predator. Like, losing the egg without finding anything is a big deal for Aster. It's not the longest cooldown, but it is something they need in these engagements. To make matters worse, there's a nice little arcane rune here for MNZ, so he can spam his spells out for a bit. The MKB is up now as well for the Ursa. Of course, he doesn't have a slot yet because he's got the cheese inside. Once he pops that cheese, his damage output's just going to skyrocket. The right click speed going to be insane once you pop the overpower. And the side of Aster, down the egg, not too bad. Wolf form as well going to be up in 40. They've got the AC to sort of tank up in front, coming out from XXS. They are holding steady. It's a 17k lead for Thunder Predator, but they're not able to really pierce the nut that is the high ground. So all things considered, Aster are actually holding up fairly well.
They are. Hey, he's going to start working towards the Basher now on the PL. Will be a stage where the PL could just outscale the Ursa later on. You still got Leostyle to worry about to boot, don't forget though. The Nature's Prophet, you know, it's a position one in and of its own. Its own weight.
Yeah. Still, Aster need a lot to still bounce back in here. The wave clear they've got is mainly reliant on just getting a PL army off. Beyond that, like where the PL doesn't focus, I guess you could start spamming out the Necronomicons, but you'd run the risk of just feeding that economy away now. The Thunder Predator, they haven't been able to find enough off the map with his Lycan pickup. Like, look at mid. Mid tier 1 still stands, top tier 1 still stands. Next Roche is still 2 minutes off. There's a lot of time here for Thunder Predator to just turtle on, prevent any movements out, although they are clumped up.
Oh, Impel's not going to land. MNZ links out. Still, they go in with wide. Lane moves. A roll away. Aster just seemed very satisfied. Continuing to hold. It's a slow build up, but they'll eventually get there. They now queuing up the Iron Skadi pickup. Meanwhile, MNZ is going for the Swift Blink, which is a very balanced item.
Oh, so balanced. Like, that move speed, excellent. The attack speed, excellent. Combine that with overpower, chef's kiss. Mwah. Very good stuff. Aster is going to have a hard time against this. Do they even have like a Heaven's Halberd up? No. So, hey, no disarm means the Ursa just gets to run around. It's the Dagon build up here as well for White Album. Wonder if that's going to be enough. Level 1 Dagon by itself, not quite. But once you hit Dagon 5, with the Nyx Vendetta hit, that could be something to build into.
Perhaps. Aster, they've smoked up. It seems like they're only really smoking to just get in position to farm, but maybe they go for a pick-off. They'll scan out the Roshan pit, but that's 20 seconds away. They are right by Leo style at the moment. That'd be a great pick to find. But instead, they're going to find the rest of Thunder Predator making their way over. XXS, he gets the wolf form off in time. Meanwhile, in the back, they got MJs already. Egg down, Monet moving his way in, back onto Moons. Moons dropping low, still mad. He'll die on the Phoenix, and Moons is still fine as he goes back after Lan M. Dream Coil again going to be committed onto the Earth Spirit only, it seems like. As Lan M, he'll die. It's a 2-for-1 trade, and unfortunately for Aster, Roshan has respawned.
Oh, and that's going to be so annoying as well. It's got an Ags blessing up for Thunder Predator to play with. So perhaps 3 Ags coming in for MNZ, which means he's going to be able to enrage much more often, and enrage true disables gives him so much more to play around with. Another cheese on the deck as well, and it is indeed MNZ. So 18-second cooldown on enrage. Popping that off when he's disabled. I mean, they had some opportunities with locking him down. Now they have very little. And a 30k lead for Thunder Predator, but they're playing it safe. I like this. Like, they're not overextending, they're not getting too cocky. They respect that Aster has good high ground, and they don't want to throw away the lead. So slow and steady wins the race here. They're just going to have a lot of items to play with, and Aster, I mean, they've got a really tanky PL, but it just hasn't amounted to much. And there's that very balanced Blink Dagger for MNZ.
Absolutely. Top lane. Gonna make his way over. Leo already getting started. The Nature's Prophet. MNZ now with his
look at that.
jumping in. They give him the Dagon. The warning shot there from White. Now Dream Coil off the mark.
What? Number 3? Or even number 4, I think.
I believe that was number 4.
Yeah, that's... I get what White Album's trying to do. He's playing on the edge. But man, that has got to land at some point. You can't afford to keep missing. It's your setup for Egg. Without it, the Egg is just not going to be that successful.
On the bright side, they are still holding high ground. Thunder Predator, even with the 31k net worth lead, have not found a way to breach. Pale out. Monet, slowly but surely getting much bigger on this Phantom Lancer. Frank, he's had enough. He's popping the ulti. They're going. They're committing for this. White, he's in. But there's your Abyssal Blade right onto Lan M. They want the next stand. They'll get the next stand. He'll buy it back immediately. Back in onto the Lycan. The Wolf trying to run. So close to dying, but he's going to be just fine. Meanwhile, MNZ still going. False Promise. It does come out to make sure the Ursa won't die once. He still has the Aegis anyway. Will go down. But Aster, they are successfully holding high ground. White, gonna Dream Coil. Lincoln's blocked there. They've lost the tier 3 tower. Thunder, they're moving it again onto the Phoenix this time. So Mad goes down. The roll in. Mad will buy back immediately. Magnetize, pretty nice from Moose. Back in onto the peel. That's the target they want. They will get it, but he'll buy back. Buy the fountain. Here we go. A 5v5, but Leo, he's actually going to drop Monet. Gets the kill. And the melee barracks, it stays standing. They get the range racks, but that's about all they get.
You're going to be very pleased if you're Aster. You did have to buy back in 3 heroes, but you prevent any more from being lost on your top set of racks. So the defense is working out. The threat of the team fight's great. One thing that's bugging me here is that every single time MNZ comes in, he gets yield stop, and he has no save. He doesn't pop his BKB preemptively. He wants to save it for when he pops the Enrage. But that just means he gets kited around more. So this more cautious play of saving that spell immunity is sort of costing them some initial kills. The burst damage just doesn't fly fast enough. He doesn't manage to get the swipes off before the Yules comes in. So there needs to be some follow-up. MNZ needs to line his initiation with their Earth Spirit. And Muse just has to be able to jump in as well, although... White Album just poking again. Dagon 3, starting to hurt it a little bit more. Once it's Dagon 5, I guess it really starts to hurt a lot. So,
once you get to
pile up there.
Cape. Monet.
Ah, beautiful.
Illusionist Cape on appeal. What a balance thing. Just beautiful. Send it down a lane. It'll clear out everything. Be fine.
Oh yeah. But on the bright side, MNZ has the Penta Edge Sword. With that MAME, you know, it's kind of perfect for the Ursa as well.
You're not wrong. 80 rune, and then he would love to find himself a target. White is around, but he's just trying to hide behind a tree line. See, he might even go high ground. He would run straight into Monet if he typed tier 4 towers. Doppel, can he take a guess? MNZ going to be spotted. White, the one to break. Frank, X's him out. Start chipping away. In onto the mid racks. Eventually, this exorcism is going to hit the racks. They are going to get the mid. Or maybe not, the glyph is there. Aster just hell-bent on holding these melee barracks. 5 HP, they'll take one out, and that'll be enough for Thunder Predator. White, Coil was available, he needs to be careful though, jump in from the Earth Spirit, but Monet sends in the illusions immediately. Now the wolf form, there you go, John. There's the Aghanim set the peel.
Oh my god.
He's a wolf now, John. But who does he go for? They haven't caught anyone quite yet. They're trying off the MNZ. He's going to be all right. Wolf illusions are actually flying out. I can't believe my eyes. It actually works. MNZ is still going to be fine, but he's out of mana. Leo, he's going to try and TP up, but no, the Yule Scepter is there to cancel that off. And meanwhile, LAN-M will continue the chase. Hits the Impale. They found the Ursa. That's a massive target.
Oh my god, it's working.
It's working.
XXS.
The Lycan Ags gives PL Wolf Illusions, which have max movement speed.
Oh yes. It's that. If they get lifesteal, it's insane. And they get that crit as well. A 40% chance for crit, so it's a huge DPS boost for Monet. And this is the problem. Thunder Predator, they don't have buyback on their Ursa. 700 gold away, and it's still a Lycan. They can mount these objectives so fast.
What are you telling me? The Lycan PL is going to ruin the streak of Thunder Predator. Is that what I'm about to see? They're going to go high ground. They're going to give it a shot. I have Skadi up now, Monet. Onto the mid racks. There is no buyback. They could try for the tier 4s if they realize, and they do. Monet says, screw it, let's go for the tier 4 towers. They're going to give it a shot. Frank will be stunned up. Leo, he has buyback. He might need to commit. Mu is in with the BKB and the Magnetize. He'll start the fight. Leo right in onto Monet, trying to get the PL. Doppel out. Monet still trapped up in the Sprout. Might just go down here, but the Sunray keeping him alive. Now the Dream Call there from White. They'll turn right back around. This one could be all over. They're going to clear them out if they're not too careful. Thunder Predator still alive, however. White moves in for another Dagon hit. Frank might just die. No. He'll survive through the false promise and Aster. They're going to work their way out. That was looking very tight for Thunder Predator. But it seems as though we have a much more even game than I first thought. As MNC is going to be scouted. I hear a wolf bite happening. There it is, XXS giving it to Monet. Who are they going to chase down? They're going to go after Frank. Poor Frank. He didn't sign up for this. Meanwhile, MNZ does kill off XXS, but Monet's your real problem. Leo style, just going to try and evolve this wolf. Impale is out. They've called Frank. He's out of mana, but the false promise is there. Frank can just barely move right now. Let's get away.
Ooh. All right. On the edge here for Thunder Predator. The one boon they have on Thunder Predator's end is it is a long cooldown for the wolf bite. It's about 80 seconds. So once you know that wolf bite's out, once it fades, you can look to make a play. The next rush is another long one, 2 minutes once more, so no immediate rush here for Thunder Predator. They need that up, although...
We go, MNC, they've caught Mad. Mid lane. White Album, gonna be just fine. Did I not just see a Divine Rapier pick up on somebody? Frank, Hex, out. They found White Album. They'll get the kill. Into the high ground. Thunder Predator, this could be the opportunity they've been looking for. It's a 3v5 scenario. Buyback committed on White Album. They just want the Megas. The backdoor protection. They could go through it, but it's very risky. Monet, he's right in. Onto Frank, draining the mana again. Frank, looks like he has been left behind. False promise will fly out. Is that really going to be enough? Not quite. The coil to lock them down from White Album, and Monet is still going onto that DP. They found MJ. They'll find the DP, and they will hold high ground again. Aster, they are not done yet.
Oh, they're really putting up a fight here. Thunder Predator slowly losing this lead just a bit. They forced the buyback. They want to get something done. Roche is going to be up in half a minute. That's going to be where all of this breaks down.
He's jumped in. This could be a little bit too early. He pops his BKB now, but Monet is going to chase him down. This Earth Spirit will try to roll, but it's going to be blocked off. Still MNZ right in, right after that Lycan, but XXS trying to run. Won't get out, but it's up to Monet now. Can he get the job done? Can he take down the crazy bear with his wolf form? Maybe not. He's trying to run. MNZ's chasing him. Frank, he gets the Yules off. Monet bashed up. He's in trouble. Monet, doppelganger. He does get away just barely. In fact, turning back around, but he is going to die. He'll have buyback. He'll commit immediately, but White Album has died back on the puck. Onto Lan M. That'll be the Knicks gone. They have to fight for the Ursa, rather the Roshan.
Comes out right in time. They got the mega creeps from the wave just shoving in, along with Leosol perhaps just getting a couple of sprouts off. And this has everything. Aegis, Cheese, Refresh, Ags. It's going to be a big spike for Thunder Predator. They do not have the bodies to throw forward here. And the wolf form is not enough. They get the Ags up onto Leosol, so that's Ag Shard and Ag's Blessing on the NP. Lower cooldown on the Rat of Nature. The duration is scaled up, and it is going to be a lot more coming out here from the NP when he gets a good Rat of Nature off. Down to tier 4s here for Aster. Not out of it yet. Respawn on XXS is fairly short. He's going to be back up soon, but there's a double damage rune here. If only Thunder Predator could see that one. Could be big.
Could be. Dota Plus still giving a 23% chance to Aster. Monet's going to have the Abyssal soon. That will help. Megas are coming in though. Menzi very slowly walking his way over. He's got no boots up. Put them away. Exorcism going to be popped. They're going to try for the tier 4s immediately without the puck being around. MNZ jumping in, but Lan M immediately with the impale. Roll from Moose, not going to be on target. MNZ still fine, jumping back in now after the Nyx Assassin. They might just get him. Lan M going to try and run away. He does make it, or rather not. Mad also dying. They'll buy back on the Phoenix now. Still willing to fight. Onto Frank. XXS, he's dying to Leo style. And it's up to Monet basically. Monet and Mad versus the world. Rolling from Moose, kick him right back in, and he gets bashed by the Ursa. MNZ just about to die, but not quite. As it looks like this game might finally be over. MNZ still trying to deal with Monet. Monet trying his best. They'll get the Aegis, but can they really defend? No, they can't. That'll be the dieback on Monet, and that'll be the end of game.